Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Shiba. Today is Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. It's finally here, and it's finally happening. We are, in fact, playing Pyanodon's Alternative Energy, and every other mod in the mod suite with it. This has definitely been a long time coming. Definitely been a long time coming. This was in production, the alternative energy mod, for quite some time. So it's good that it's finally here, finally available on the mod portal for everyone to download. Now, that does not mean that it is without issues, but it's without the real breaking ones, ideally. Hopefully we'll be able to, complete the game. So with the previous release as the game loads and uses up all the system resources, with Alien Life, PyAlien Life, I was among the first making videos of that, making streams of that, while it was in pre-release, and thus subject to a lot of changes during that period of time. Meaning I had to constantly go and rebuild what I had already built. So, this time I decided, you know what, we're going to wait. We're going to wait for it to be released so that we don't have to keep constantly going back to rebuild what we've already built. There might still be some of that, but it's definitely not going to be to the same degree or the same extent as it was during pre-release. They did seem to have a lot more people playing and testing and developing Pi Alternative Energy this time around, and a whole bunch of other stuff to go along with it. Because we don't just have Pi Alternative Energy, we have the rest of the Pi suite, and everything has changed. As far as I'm aware, basically, everything has changed. So, maybe not the raw ore processing so much. So maybe my videos about ore processing chain are still at least semi-relevant, but basically everything else can get thrown completely out the window. I have not experienced this beyond initiating a new game and seeing a lot of folks talk about the ash. So, gotta get that coffee in me. Let's briefly talk about the mods. I will get this mod list posted onto my Discord server at the end of the stream, after the stream today. We, of course, have my full suite of quality of life mods that I usually play through. There is a mod that I do not currently have enabled because it is not currently compatible. And I will discuss that, but it's not immediately relevant, so we have time before it becomes an issue. A very, very long time before it becomes an issue. So we have actual craft time. This puts a little box on the top left corner of the screen that tells you the recipe details, as in the actual amount crafted per second, the amount consumed, the amount produced, and it gives a little slider that lets you change how many buildings you have on that line. So it tells you how many buildings you need to attain whatever input-output you want. It's very convenient. Good morning, hello, everyone. We are, yeah, there's a few viewers today, more than usual. There's a few more than usual. Gee, I wonder why. It's as if folks have been waiting for me to play Pyanodon's mods. We have additional pace settings to help with building them all later. We have Afraid of the Dark, so folks can see. I do have alien biomes this time, but not the high-res textures that I have. The game already has some VRAM bloat problems with this mod set. I don't need even more of those issues. But basically, alien biomes will simply mean that I have a lot of rocks. And we'll have a bit more variety in, like, what the trees look like, what the ground looks like, etc., etc. We have Bottleneck Light. We have Bulk Rail Loader, set to move any item, of course. We have Clock. We have Copy-Paste Modules, highly convenient later in the game. We have Deadlocks, Loaders. Might use the belt boxes, might not, but definitely the loaders. Loaders is why I'm using this. We have the Eradicator RAM and VRAM saver with its requisite library. Oh, thank you so much for continuing your membership. Yes, it is. This is definitely gonna take a while. Where's the alert? Alert? Hello? Streamlabs? Oh, did I? Oops. I may have hidden my Streamlabs alert. Excuse me. Let's go and go to my Streamlabs dashboard so that we can do this again. Log in as that. Activity feed. Activity feed. Recent events. Hello. Recent events. Refresh. Is it gonna go through? Is it gonna go through? No? Really? Well, that's unfortunate. This should have been set up properly. Oh, there it goes. Thank you so much for continuing your membership. That's better. That's better. So, we have even distribution. Oh, that went... Whoa, hello. Thank you so much for... Let's get ashy. Yes. Really looking forward to this playthrough. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for... Wow, that keeps going through. I hit it once. Come on. Would you... It's just not stopping. Okay, fine. Whatever. We won't have that today. Thank you for the $50 super chat. Cole Fodororo. Let us definitely get ashy. We are going to be starting very shortly here. We have the Factorio libraries, we have Hellmod, we have Infinite Technologies, we have long storage tanks for trains later, we have nanobots, we have ore eraser, we have all of the Pi mods, including Pi post processing, which is new, along with alternative energy. We have quality of life research, we have resource spawner overhaul, we have squeak through, we have stone water wells, we have Tiny Start, we have Train Supply Manager, we have Ultimate Belts, Owashima and Pankeko. This slightly adjusts speeds and the art assets with them. We have Vehicle Snap, and we have What Is It Really Used For? The mods that I do not have enabled currently because they do not work at the moment is Bob's Modules with the Functions Library mod. This, as I said, is not currently compatible because of Pi post processing. Pi post processing does a lot. It seems to be like the brains of the intercompatibility between the various pieces of the mod set now. And it does a lot of programmatic things with the tech tree that causes some incompatibilities with other mods. In particular, it seems that with Bob's modules at the moment, it, for some reason changes the technologies, I guess, to regular technologies or something along those lines, or it gets rid of the lab that this is supposed to add. There's something about the speed module technology erroring, or just module text erroring out, as in there isn't it says that there's no lab that can do the technology, and thus it prevents the game from loading. Which is, something that needs to be worked on, and is being worked on, and will eventually be fixed along with some other stuff with other Bob's modules. But that isn't relevant at the very beginning of the game, since, we're not going to be using modules at the very beginning of the game. And a lot has changed, so who knows how late it's going to be before we actually have any amount of gold to use Bob's modules. Because using Bob's modules already is a delay because of the gold, anyway. So, free play. The first thing I had noticed on here is that we have 2 brand new resources added into the game. We have 2 brand new resources. We have antimony, and we have rare earth minerals. These are new. Also, I've noticed that bitumen seeps no longer have a richness scale. They don't have a richness scale. Don't remember if that was a thing before. And yeah, we have all of the rocks. Glorious, beautiful rocks. We have a geothermal fissure now. That's new. All the rest look about the same. They have, of course, added all of these nice icons onto this list for all of the individual rocks. Now, apparently, a thing that I did see is that Resource Spawner Overhaul may make these as patches on some of them that are not supposed to be patches. I think that specifically sulfur aren't supposed to be like multi-vein sulfur patches, but it's only supposed to be one at a time if you don't have RSO, but I don't care. We're pushing the richness on these to maximum regardless. Like, I'm gonna be happy not having to, like, go to a whole bunch of places and have a whole bunch of train stations moving the stuff around. I'm playing this to solve the individual factory problem, not the find more resources problem. So I'm going to obviously increase the richness to maximum on everything, and I have my RSO settings such that everything gets multiplied by 100. So on our mod settings here, mostly the same. Anything that has a little reset button is stuff that is different than usual, and you can like go back later on, pause to see what the settings are for this. And we can see that we are allowing any items in bulk rail loader. And on nanobots, I've changed a few things on nanobots so that they go faster. And on RSO, we have our richness multipliers of 100, and we have tree removal on ore patches, and we have like the spawn, reveal the spawn resources. That's a pretty big one. Pretty big one. And of course, we will play without biters as per usual. I want to build at my own pace. I don't like having that time pressure to get rid of biters, and frankly, they become more of a tedium the later that you get into the game. So I don't want to have to like keep clearing them out just to expand my base all the time, which is why we are turning them off. And turning off pollution because, well, no point calculating pollution if you don't have enemies that actually use that mechanic. We're turning off cliffs as well, because screw cliffs. And we're turning off water, because I have alien biomes. If we need water, and I have stone water wells, but if we need water, there's going to be shallow water that will spawn on the map. As for trees, we're going to increase their scale but decrease their coverage so that we have larger forests of trees that are more spread out from each other. Yes, research queue available always. That is definitely a thing. Hello, map. That uses a lot of processing power. The map uses a ton of processing. This is definitely not the type of terrain that I would like to start out at. We have a lot of volcanic area and desert area, both of which will slow us down by like half. So, more moisture, please. More bigger moisture, and maybe like hit that random seed button. Yeah, as frame rate goes immediately down, and as the fans on my computer just ramp up significantly every single time I push the button to change this, because yeah, of all the aspects of Factorio that are multi-threaded, like truly multi-threaded, loading the game and the map preview are the only two that are truly multi-threaded. In fact, this map preview uses 100% of your CPU at like maximum priority. So it tanks everything else on the system every single time. Just completely tanks your performance to make this preview. I think this is going to be somewhat okay, and that may be what I go with. I would like to increase size on... Close that preview. I would like to increase the size on some of these fields because something tells me I will need that. Oh yes, and the bioreserve, of course. As for frequency, I think I'll keep the frequency the same. But yeah, definitely push the size of the patches up. Though note that richness and size are related to each other, so stuff that's close to your starting zone will be larger, but won't be as dense as something that will be further away. Like, regardless, it's just that if I do like 600% size on this stuff, on the iron and the copper and the stone, because their default size is larger, it'll be like massive, and regardless of the richness, the individual spots on them are going to be really low density. So I tend to not do 600 on the base materials, but the other ore patches, which are set as inherently smaller on their size, it's easier to go up to 600 because they just start smaller. They're multiplying by a smaller base number. And I think we could just play now. We are loading the map. That only took about 15, 16 minutes. I am shocked. That is a big patch of aluminium. Why, hello. Resources. That is a very small raw coal patch. I needed to change that. Did I not increase the size on raw coal? Raw coal, yeah, size. You go up to like at least 400 or 600, and tin, and titanium, and zinc. Yeah, there we go. And the quartz, and the oil sand, and the niobium, and the nickel, and the molybdenum, and the lead, and the chromium, and the borax. All y'all go get bigger numbers. Bigger numbers! Glorious bigger numbers. That's better. Now we can play. The game does save all of the like settings, by the way. So we're still sort of like on the same map, etc., etc. It just slightly changed the locations of the resources due to the difference in the sizes. So that's a better raw coal. That's a zinc. Oh god, they changed the. Well, that's new. All right, so there's now a specific mining drill for fluids. Okay. Okay, so first things first, let's figure out my color here. 071171, that's my color. I wish it was darker, but, you know, the game, when the developers introduced the ability to change your color from here, they made it so that the alpha setting is 50 without an ability to change it. And that affects the actual colors. So it's like, okay, I'm not true cobalt because rather than having like no transparency on the color, there's now transparency on the color. And like, alright, makes the color lighter. I did start with Tiny Start, which should mean that I have some robots here to grab things for me, and I won't have to worry about much of anything, really. Although it seems I have to break this wreckage myself. Now, I'm noticing immediately we do not have any starting assembling machines. No more assembling machine at the beginning, which is good. I wasn't going to use it anyway. Okay, now that we're a little bit more clean around here, there's a few things. Yes, there's a few things that we need to talk about here. First up is the bioreserve. The bioreserve no longer gives you the bio containers of stuff. This gives you flowers. You actually get flowers now from the bioreserve. It's glorious, fantastic. You also get Keratin from stone, as well as stone. So that's new. That's completely new, and something we'll have to deal with. That is a lot of stone. That is a lot of stone, and a little bit of moss. because apparently moss is a thing. Alright, what has changed? What has changed? Well, science has changed. We no longer have red science packs for our automation science. Our automation science is now flowers. It's now flowers. So we need to be able to mine the flowers and build the planter boxes and build small parts. Alright. Well then. Small parts we can just make. The planter boxes, those are going to need stone bricks and wood and iron. Alrighty then. Where is the nearest forest? Alright, so there's some dead trees down there. I will need to mine just a little bit of coal. There you go, get going. That's pretty quick. Huh. Mining time is 50% on these, so it will go very fast. It produces ash. Alright. Good to know. And the stack size is 50. Oh yeah, the stack size is 50. Why did that change? Shouldn't that be 500? Hold up. Hold on. Isn't that supposed to be 500? On, like, stone, iron, copper? Why did they change that? Or is one of my mods being problematic? That's different. Quite different. I think it's that. They changed it on everything. Alright, well. Let's see. 0.8 into 0.1. Okay, that's actually very, very different. That is very different. Oh boy. So, mining is just a bit faster, it seems. Or this is just slower. I think this might be slower. Because it used to be 3 mining drills per stone furnace. Now it is 1. Now it is a straight up 1-to-1. Which, that's more vanilla. That's vanilla. I am okay with this. This is fine. Oh good, the ash does stack to 1,000 still. So that is good. Gosh, the coal though, the raw coal stack size will be a slight issue. It will mean that I have to constantly come back here. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to get wood gathered. Let's see if we have any forest. There's a rare earth ore. Molly, Neo, and more copper, more... Oh, antimony. Hello. This is called native flora now. Oil sands, stone carriage and iron. Bitumen seeps up there. Oh, these tiny start bots. They are so very slow. But you know what? Better than nothing. These bots are going to be immediately replaced with nanobots as soon as I can really make them. That's going to need tech. That's going to need tech. This will use soil, yes? Soil, yep. Alright, that means I will need to make one of these, which means needing more copper. So let's work on scale. Scale, glorious scale. Could use more wood, though. Wait a minute. Well, that explains why there was the wood processing unit. Alright then, so trees give you logs now. That is, in fact, new. That's actually quite nice, because logs give you more wood. At least they better. Where's that recipe? Ah, you can handcraft. Good. Yeah, 1 log for 5 wood. But a little slow. Let's make sure to grab... Yes, let's pickaxe the seaweed. And I do need to grab fish, too. And stick it in a box to not forget about it. We need seaweed, and we need the fish stored. I'll store the moss as well for now. That is simply because we need to have infinite amounts of those, and the downside of running without water is that, you know, we won't have the ability to get these beyond this starting water. I think the game might spawn fish in the coastal waters-ish, in the, like, shallows, but it's fine. It's fine. Just want to make sure we don't lose those. Let's get copper. Setting even distribution to 1,000 fuel stacks, will that override? Or even is even distribution? Maximum inventory cleanup global 1,000. Blue arrow on top right of inventory. Yeah. This. Oh, half stacks? Nah. Nah. That better? That should be better? Now, unfortunately, I'm hitting Shift-C. It isn't automatically throwing the stuff in. And I'd rather it balance out inventories. Shift-C is enabled. Oh, you can change the range. That's good. I've actually noticed that the range tends to be a little bit too large, so I will actually reduce that. Unfortunately, Shift-C isn't throwing fuel in here. It's like not seeing raw coal as a fuel. Yeah, it's supposed to use fuel. I guess because the fuel hasn't been defined in the items, it won't throw fuel in. weird. That is so weird. See, that did it when it was in the trash slots. Oh, it might be because it. I know exactly why. It's trying to keep certain amounts of stuff in my inventory. Distribute items above minimum request amount. The thing about that is that this is not... This is not showing me that there are items that are like part of a hidden list. Like this isn't everything. Settings, mod settings, under even distribution. They used to have built in the ability to modify this. Huh. Weird. It's just weird behavior. I think it's trying to keep a bunch of rock wool in the inventory before throwing excess for whatever reason. You didn't know there was a Shift C? Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point, and it's not even working. Unfortunate. Oh, hey, we start with Underground Belt. That's cool. Oh god, more stuff is spawning. More stuff is spawning. There's borax. There's more things spawning in. There's double aluminium. Larger bitumen. Yeah, weird that Shift C isn't working. 500 hours. 500? You are vastly underestimating. The undergrounds are length 9. Alright, good. Good. Interesting. Interesting that was changed. Previously they were default on yellow belts, and it was upgraded on reds. Yeah, that's really weird. Shift C is not working. Might just have to go 0. And then that should, yeah, that should fix it. That's fixed it right there. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I just saw, remembered, hey, it's probably just gonna have to be personal logistics to throw in the trash slot. Because, you know, the setting here for auto trash is off, but it still impacts even distribution. So what do I need to do now? I need to build a soil extractor. That's one of the first steps. Need to keep building these guys. We, for whatever reason, have the ability to get power and use that for our labs, I guess, and the building that I'm building right now. So I will need to do that. We'll need more copper. I was actually just thinking of adding like 20 more copper mines rather than iron. So copper, I think, will be first. Yeah, the power is for the soil extractor. It's for the lab as well. And if you're using a wood cutter to convert the logs, what should be the first tech I grab? Oh boy, that's new. Hello, muddy sludge. Muddy sludge. You get sand from soil, and you also get muddy sludge now, rather than tailings. And you can just straight up soil into sludge. Well, okay, what do we then do with said sludge? Feed it for moss? Yes, we feed it to moss, which has the new icon on it. With carbon dioxide, okay. Anything else we'll be able to do with sludge? Hey, let's, sludge. We can't search for sludge because it's not named that. Is it still called tailings? No, it's not that. Muddy sludge. Muddy. The muddiest of sludge. It gets produced various means. It is used for rich clay. It is used for biomass, so you can convert it into biomass. You have iron oxide tiles. This looks like it's basically just replacing tailings. It looks like it's basically just replacing tailings. Like, they didn't even change the recipe on logs. The icon still has the tailings recipe on it. But yeah, it looks like a lot of places that were using tailings are now using this muddy sludge, which, you know, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice, especially for logs. Because this stuff is free. Because this stuff is free from soil and water in a washer. Definitely worth looking into, but that also means free tailings. Where are we going to get those now? Where are we going to get the tailings for the tailings dust and Nextlet? Because my entire Nextlet mining apparatus was based upon the fact that washing soil gave you tailings. So you can tar tailings, of course. This is now part of Nextlet processing stage 1. So they changed Nextlet. Okay. And that produces a saline water. Yeah, there's lots of recipes that give tailings, but I'm looking for the cheapest recipes that give tailings. I'm looking for cheap. Cheap. The washing was basically free. Out of no input whatsoever besides water. Now there has to be some sort of a limited input, is what it looks like, to obtain tailings. Primarily through this, and it's from water, or from tar. To get consistent tailings for Nextlet. And it's unlocked with Nextlet, so there's the answer to that. So no more completely free Nextlet. That sort of sucks. But just gotta live with it. Just gotta live with it. Build more. More! Let's try to get through this phase as quickly as possible. And I'm going to need like infinite coal, so off we go. I'm also going to need more wood, so where are those massive forests that there are supposed to be somewhere? There are supposed to be some big forests, according to my map settings. I don't see any, which is slightly disturbing. Ever so slightly disturbing. I guess I should also get stone going. So how is this gonna go now? Because it may not be as simple as putting down the stone furnace anymore. Since this supposedly makes Keragen as well as stone. But hey, at least it produces its own fuel. So I don't need to throw raw coal into the machine here. At least I don't have to do that. I think I'll leave just the one. It's gonna fill up on the Keragen though at 100. So then what do we do with the Keragen is the question of the century, because it's only used here. What? That is really different. Crafted in the retorter, yes. So it's just used to produce shale oil. That's one way to get folks using shale oil. But so here's the question then. What did they do to oil sand? What happened to oil sand? For the bitumen stuff. Because shale oil was among the things that you could potentially make. Okay, grab Keragen. I guess that's just another fuel that I can use for the moment. Which, oddly enough, by my thinking, so stone is fuel now, along with raw coal. That's where my mind went with it. It's like, okay, well, that just means that stone is in fact fuel. And I can totally, potentially, see myself burning stone for the purpose of having Keragen production off of a stone patch to then, I guess, make shale oil. Can I convert shale oil to tar? No. Well, not directly, anyway. You can use it to make olefins. So there's olefins out of nichrome. Final concentrate in antimony requirement. We've got an ammonia out of moly. Not happening. We've got nitrogen out of nickel, probably not happening, and then we've got condensates. So basically oil with vanilla heavy, which has its uses. With vanilla heavy and with light, which also has its uses. They changed the icon on aromatics. And you can't really do anything with this stuff, and I don't usually use that anyway. Yeah, you can get heavy, so might be decent way of getting into heavy oil. More. Come up here, fuel these. Fuel more. I am quite satisfied with the new ratio of 1 to 1. That is so much nicer. Okay, I need a water. I need a collector. This also will use power, by the way. And then I guess I will be handcrafting the science at the beginning here. I mean, I don't really care so much about the ash. It is stacks to 1,000. And we will eventually have a way of getting rid of excess ash. Good, we have excess copper. I like seeing that. What I would like then is to add more of you. What I like thus far is that there's been no real downtime waiting on anything. We've been able to continue scaling and expanding and scaling and expanding without having to wait around for too much. It's been a much smoother experience. So let me get up here so that I can get some power going. I will need to find more wood, though. What? Oh, you need just straight up logs. Okay. Ahem. That's different, as they say. That do be different. Thought I built 2 of those. Maybe I should move it down here, huh? And just have a thing directly mining into it. Nah. The icon there is a little off. Well, I know you can't automate the science packs for a while. That is normal. That is expected. I'm looking for wood now. I mean, that's how it was before alternative energy. In order to get access to wood to automate your science, you needed red science. You needed your first science. 2 boilers per generator? Huh? Output's 7.5. Again, things that are different from before. Is something eating these? This uses 15. Yeah, why did they change that? That makes no sense. Like, okay, now we need pipes. Oh yeah, I will need to find some sap at some point, ideally. And it's 250. And it's 250. So you only get half the output. Ah, see? Yeah. These are spawning in the shallows. Where are my forests? My goodness. I'm supposed to have really thick, dense forests. I guess they're locked to certain biomes. Where's, like, a compatible biome? I don't know. My concern at the moment is power poles. Which is why I would like to fill my inventory with logs. As soon as I can find some in abundance. So we need to take a detour. Powerless inserters with a filter. That would be nice. These are mechanical, not burner inserters. Oh, that's a lot of stone. See, these use the same burner inserter name and such, but it looks like they don't use fuel. They just operate. And yes, that does mean that they are also able to be used as splitters. You can do lots of things with inserters. You don't actually need splitters so much. Oh, here's titanium. Still no wood anywhere. I think I see some. Unless that's just water, that's just water. Ugh. What's that red? Geothermal. Okay, we found a geothermal. I needed to go out and, like, reveal the map anyway around me because the settings on RSO do not show you the individual node patches. That's a bit of quartz there. Although I am noting that that does say that it uses 3 acetylene per mining operation. And this uses pressurized water for geothermal. Seriously, there's no wood at all. Just nothing. There's just nothing. No forests anywhere. I'm not gonna restart, no. If I have to, like, go between streams to hunt down wood, I will. For now, though. Oh, great. Deadwood only gives you a 50% chance to get a log. Isn't that glorious? I was gonna head over there next, yeah. Yeah, the thing about alien biomes is that it does, like, they are biomes, and each one has a different tree density associated with it, and different tree types associated with them, but they still have to follow the vanilla spawning mechanics, and I guess it's just there's too many biomes. I forgot to set it so that the biomes were larger and more spread out. That would have forced a bit more forest patches in the individual biomes, I think. Well, I'm pretty sure I don't have a car now, which is when I would need it. So just gonna note those bitumen seeps as well, because it seems we'll need them for tar. And we'll head out this way. Ah yes, just a small patch of snow in the middle of nothing. So I believe that this biome here should be able to spawn more trees, ideally, especially over here. But then I see desert, so oh noes. I see sulfur. Lots of water, no trees. This could go faster if I set the game speed to 2. But I want to try to not do that. Okay, there's a few trees. Not quite what I had in mind, but better than absolutely nothing. It's all dead trees, though. It's like, where are my living forests? Let's try to find something alive, because I do need sap. Oh, I got a sap. Okay. Good. Good, I got one from something. Need sap to make sap from a sap tree. Any around you? No. Nada. Yeah, once wood is automated, that's not a problem, and that's why I have the settings that I set. It's because I know that this is only an issue at the very beginning of the game, and the very beginning of the game ends. It has a definitive ending, after which the trees become a liability. Go away. Go away, bots. Ooh, uranium. Finding everything else that I need, but except for the thing that I need, as usual. I'm gonna start heading north. Get closer to my base, anyway. Super weird. It's just really weird. Yeah, this is quite the expedition. Like, huh. Of note that this is a lot of water to have to keep in mind about. I will need to make some landfill if I want to build, like, anywhere. It's really restricting where I'll build a main bus. I have to, like, build this way. Yeah, I'll have to build this way to limit the amount of water that'll be in the way, or this way. Well, alright, let's just try to pick up these. Some of these, anyway. Like, why is it so spread out, though? Now, that's a few bitumen seeps. This will have to do, I guess, for now. I have to get back and continue building. This is starting to take a little too long. I know I will need more, but for now, we'll have to make do. Better to make progress and then go out later while we're scaled up a bit more. So that we have more stuff, even more stuff when we come back. Let's see, need to go up a little bit. Just very few, like, living trees have spawned near me. And yet, I'm sure that the moment I go to a place that I haven't explored nearby, like here, or here, or here, there'll be something in one of those. And I'll be like, dang it, always the last place. It's always the last place. As more stuff continues to spawn, some antimony. So, plans. Let's make some plans. I need to get into... I would like some belts, but I need to have a lab next, so that'll be good. Then... oh, something else just spawned. I think we're basically set to build our first science. Yeah, we're pretty much set for our first science at this point. It's just continued scaling. Continued scaling. I need to pull that out of you. Apparently leave one so that it can keep mining. Alright, you mentioned that it is a different ratio on these now, which is funky, to say the least. Makes me tempted. Makes me tempted to sandwich them, if that's how it's going to be. Now, unfortunately, with the power poles here, it would still need to be like every other with a gap like that, just because of the need for the power poles. Think about ash removal. It's 1,000. though. And we're still really early. I'll manage. I shall manage. So this guy is going to output to a box. Of course, this has been changed to no longer need a fuel, since it's now just producing flora. From here, I need to plonk... Oh god, did I... Yep, you eat soil extractors. Alright then. Good to know. Next, we'll get that other boiler on here. So these will produce 3.5 megawatts each. Yeah, this thing uses kilowatt scale. These need fuel. Okay, I need soil. Soil needs water. Let there be water. Come on. Come on. You can do it. So much for these being a 5x5 entity when the yellow belts are now length 9 max, so have 8 gap. Oh, that's a little slow. So you were saying about the ash. Well, it would be a little bit difficult with the inserters being that slow. Although I see the point. No, what? Okay, so you have to set this to ash. That would explain why they have a filter. It's still moving because it was a blacklist. Why does it default to blacklist? Okay. We're good now. 3 in, 3 out. But there's only room for 3. But there's only room for 3. I'd rather overbuild, and that way these need less overall throughput per individual thing. And of course, I have deadlocks, so deadlocks, loaders will be a thing. That I will absolutely use. Okay, grab some soil. Grab the ash. Looks like I can actually use the ash now. And we can make our first science packs. Just a little unfortunate that I have to do this unless I want to just put more boxes. Should I just more box? Just ultimate box inserter on all these? Yeah, I did a mini loaders playthrough, and I'm satisfied with it as it is, as it stands. I don't really want to continue with the mini loaders anymore. I am fine without. These also make ash, don't they? Yes, they do. So basically what you're saying is we need this applied everywhere. On everything. There we go. Better. There goes all my iron, but whatever. It'll be fine. Yes, but I'm going to look forward to the point in which we need more ash than what we're able to produce. Because, you know, the idea of all these burners is that they're eventually going to be replaced with electric versions that won't make ash. And eventually we'll have power that also won't make ash. Such is the point, I believe. I do believe that such is the point. You know, I think I need more iron production. I think more iron production would be great. I think double would be great. Yeah, I think double would be fantastic. We need just a bit more of that stuff. Not that thing, these things. And these things. So we need the iron for chests and inserters, primarily, so that we can make sure that we are offloading the ash into boxes. The boxes can hold up to 1,000 units of ash, so hopefully, in an ideal world, we will be beyond this point before these boxes fill up. Ideally. Just ideally. I'm gonna Shift C, get some things in there. I'm gonna try to build more of these guys. Yes, there is a fourth coming. So I can get more here. That helps a little bit. All the while we're getting a lot of the other materials to make the science packs, so I'm not too worried about this taking time. It's actually really difficult to tell the difference between the ghost entities on here and the actual inserters because of the filters on them. But I do need a lot of the inserters. Most of them are missing. Most of these, there's only one active on this side, so there's at least 11 there, and it looks like a couple more over here. And our limit is iron, so here we go. Just grabbing more and more iron. It looks like each cycle produces 3? No, it's 1. Alright, fine, whatever, get more of this. Keep making those inserters. Keep distributing. In fact, I should actually set it, because I did see that that was a setting. You can balance out inventories, which is much more ideal. I'd rather balance the inventories. That likely has a bit more processing associated with it, but that's okay. More inserters. More fuel, actually. Seeing we need 10 in there. Oh good, even more over here. Glorious. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Also, I've noticed that circuits have a different icon. Basic circuits. I don't think it's in here, but I did notice Simple Circuit Board has a brand new icon. That's different. That's different. There's also a Tier 1 printed circuit substrate. There's a Tier 1 printed circuit substrate now. Don't think I didn't notice these things, because I absolutely noticed these things. So there's another video I need to redo. More tutorials I have to redo. This is basically Circuit 2 PCB. And this is in chip shooters. That's a new icon on ceramic capacitors. Copper zinc batteries. Alright then, so we need zinc now to make circuits. Zinc and tin and lead and glass. Okay. Cellulose. Oh no. Oh no, not cellulose. Okay. Alright. Fine. Be that way. Whatever. Give me these. Give me this. Why no thingies? Oh, because, you know, ash. Hey. Give ash. Here, take Keragen. I seem to have plenty, and it has a larger stack size. And 10. What do we want our first tech to be? It's always a great question. Looks like no matter what, it's going to need 20. So Getting automation would be nice to be able to make burner assembling machines that will make ash. Fantastic. Fantastic. So we have an entire burner phase of the game now. There's the car. We have the coal processing here, so we can destructive distill for our coke from raw coal. Raw coal to coke. Where's... Yep, there's gas vent and tailings. Mining with fluid. There's the fluid mine for the tin and aluminium and other such stuff. Another recipe that give coke. Hello, welcome. We're about halfway through the stream today. I don't see an immediate need on that. Having steel would be nice for the sinkholes. Newer recipe for coke, huh? I'll start with the automation machine. Let's start with automating. So a newer recipe, huh? That gives coke. I mean, that's somewhat new. This is new. This is new. Hello. There's the regular coke processing stuff, but that's a little bit later. Were you talking about this being a thing? At tar processing from pitch. Do you think this will be as long as the last PyAlien Life? I think that this will be longer. I think that this will be longer. Most certainly. Because I have to basically relearn the entire mod. Frankly. Because they changed everything. Everything has been touched, as far as I'm aware. And from what I've seen thus far. Everything is different. Yeah. Even down to the mining. The mining is different. The mining speeds are different. The ratios between the starting furnaces is different. It used to be 3-to-1 on the burners to furnaces. Now it's 1-to-1 for the burners into furnaces. Maintaining their low output, but still, that's a ratio difference that they made. Like the whole beginning sequence is different. Whole thing's changed. You start with undergrounds now, and inserters that don't need any power whatsoever, not even fuel. They just operate. Have I done the mods in map seed yet? Yeah, that was the beginning of the stream. Although I haven't provided the map seed, and I haven't posted the mod list. I just discussed them. No splitters until C1s, but that's fine because of the thingies, the inserters. Oh, the game is getting rid of all of the ash in my inventory. Hold up, I need to maintain a stack of that. Let me at least keep a stack. Yeah, let me keep a stack. Thanks. You can store the rest, just let me at least keep a stack of that. And feel free to use the Keratin. Yeah, the entire thing is different. Like, I have to redo. I'm guessing that the like iron and copper processing chains haven't really changed once you get into raw ores. Though I think that has probably stayed approximately the same. Getting into like molten casting stuff. So at least those should still at least be somewhat relevant. Yeah, this is all the same. So these stayed about the same. But everything else got touched. The individual values on the buildings might have been updated, like the speeds of the recipes, some of the balance associated with the recipes, but like the overall process I think has stayed the same. That is 200 per stack. That is definitely different. That used to be, I think, 1,000 a stack. Definitely not 200. I can tell you that much for sure. We are getting to that point where we have enough production of plates where the handcrafting can't keep up anymore. So that means it is definitely that time for automation. That is a building. Now that is a building. Why, hello, lab. We get to see science packs. They changed the space science pack to look like something out of Portal 2. This looks straight out of Portal. We've got Pi Science Pack 1, which apparently is the former Red Science. We have Logistics Science Packs. We have Military Science Packs, which they still have done nothing to, from what we can see. There's no different icon there on Military Science. We have a Pi Science Pack 2, which is new. We have a Chemical Science Pack, which is a brand new icon on it. We have Pi Science Pack 3, which appears to be the former Pi Science. Production Science Packs are now pink rather than green. We have a Pi Science Pack 4, and we have a Utility Science Pack along with our space. So there's 4 levels to Pi Science Packs, of which level 3 appears to be about what it was before. Because who plays with biters with Pi mods? Yeah, exactly. No one in their right mind will do that. There are a few that do that play on like Death Worlds, but I sure don't do that. I sure don't do that. Nor would I ever want to take that, start processing science. We are halfway through. So there are crazy people out there? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have one watching right now. Yep, that's the one. So we're halfway through the stream, which means it is about that time to take a brief break. I think I will do just that. We are officially processing our first science. So when we come back, the goal is to start to automate as much as we can of this. Once we get this first tech, we're going to start working on at least some semblance of automation to try to get as much as we can done of these science packs in an automated way, or the bits and pieces of it, so it's not as tedious to handcraft every step along the way. And we will be continuing from there into this new burner phase of the game, which includes a little bit of electric stuff, but mostly burner stuff. So that'll be interesting. I will be back shortly. And I have returned with a cat. Hello, Ollie. Hello, my boy. It's Focus. Focus on that kitty. Hello, kitty. Hello. How you doing? He has joined me now. Yes. Pretty kitty. One of the two cats. Hi. How's the boy? Are you sleepy? Are you sleepies? Are you sleepies? What you doing? You're staring at me. What you want? What do you want? Huh, Ollie? I want to automate. I want to automate. I don't know about you. I want to automate. I don't make things. I want to make stuffs. Huh? Let's make stuffs. Let's make stuffs. Yes, pretty boy. Pretty boy. Let's make things. We gotta just get science going. Hold on. Wait for the science. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Briefly. Oh boy, we need fuel. We need just a bit of fuel. So I need to redesign, clearly, and design around the concept of using belts and inserters now. Yes, belts and inserters. So let's go ahead and do this transition as quickly as possible. Oh god, I used all of that fuel I just got, and I was supposed to put it there. Yes. Because apparently it is going to be a little while before we have electric mining drills. Why, hello. Yeah, that's circuits. And PyScience Pack 1. So it's gonna take a little while before we get into that. Why, hello, my kitty. He's sleepies. Yes, he's so sleepies. Gonna take a little while. Just a bit of time. Fortunately, it appears as if I have enough copper now. What I don't have is the other stuff. I do need. Oh god, that's all. That's everything. Oh, what I do need is iron. I need a lot of iron. Ratios. As my throat wants to, like, die. Ratios. We have 1 per second per burner miner drill, and then we have 0.8 per second per stone furnace. Now, the question I have is, at what point do we get the automated, or not automated, the foundry, advanced foundry? That is also after circuits, so we're going to be on this phase for a little bit. Oh yeah, and at what point do we get ash into flue gas? Oh? Oh. Huh. It always will require the pressured air now. I thought that was the recipe without the pressured air, but eh. Whatever, it's fine. It means we're waiting till circuits for that. Because at that point you can just straight up convert ash into flue gas and then vent the flue gas rather than having to burn the ash. Ash separation. Is here. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't solve the problem. Doesn't really solve the problem. God, you just, for whatever reason, this is being preferentially used. When do I get burners? That's a question. That is a question locked behind burner. Where is burner? Burner is that science pack. Wonderful. Gotta get all of this stuff to get down to that, which this is the original automation science. After circuit ones, all right. they changed the color of basic substrate from red to orange for whatever reason. Whatever reason. I see that we're getting 4 stoppers for 2 latex here at the beginning. And there is a tech for that. Why does this come after rendering? For the formic acid? Is that our formic now? Is that our formic acid now? No more abiotic formic acid? Because you know whose idea it was to begin with that Vrauk produced formic acid, right? I hope we remember whose idea it was that Vrauk produced formic acid. Original idea. Way back at the beginning of PyAlien Life. Ahem. Yes, it was me. Yes, that was like my initial thought upon seeing Vrauk. Was like, hey, aren't these guys like ants? Shouldn't they be able to produce formic acid? And then Pyanodon made that their blood product. So while the game tells you that post-processing is the issue, and then why is that furnace damaged? Because I accidentally shot it. Because I shot it, okay? I took my ammo off my gun for a reason. Because I accidentally was shooting things with it. Oh, goodness. So yeah, with Pi post-processing is the issue, but it's incompatibility with some other mods that are the issue. So I had to just track down the problem with the mods. Like, what was the mod it was incompatible with, and that took a little bit of effort disabling individual mods until I finally figured out what the issues were. So, in the most recent patch for Pi post-processing that just got posted today, Tiny Start will work. Previously, Tiny Start would not work correctly. It would crash from Pi post-processing because of some technology cyclic dependency issue that it was causing. So Tiny Start should now work, but I think just Bob's mods in general do not work. And they're working on it. They're working on it, on getting it so that Bob's stuff works. It is in progress. I just want to say that this lab is super slow. Yeah, I want the modules too, but it's gonna have to wait until they get that fix. Yeah, I want modules, but we don't have modules functioning yet. Doesn't work. Incompatible. I don't really care about whether or not the inserters work though. It's just give me modules. More science. Oh yeah, these. I forget about these existing. Should probably add like a couple more. Eventually. Yeah, it's a really long time before modules are relevant, so I don't really care at the moment about whether or not they work. As long as I know that they are working on them, and they are, it should be fixed by the time it becomes relevant. good. You do automatically put those in. Okay. How are we doing? I need a lot of belt. I will need more power poles as well. So first things first, I need to change this dramatically. We're gonna set up what will be a yellow belt of throughput on these. Blarg. Blargity. Blarg. Blargity. Next, get what? Get me some of this. Which other mods do I have? A lot. You can go back to the beginning of the stream where I go over what mods I'm using overall. There are many. A lot of the usuals. Train Spy Manager, Bulk Rail Loader, Hell Mod, Resource Spawner Overhaul, Tiny Start, Nanobots. Afraid of the Dark, Squeak Through, Stone Water Wells. What is it really used for? Actual craft time. What else? Long tanks, bulk rail loaders. Trying to think. Alien biomes. Eradicators, VRAM, Saver with library. Lots of mods. Lots of mods. Quality of life, research mod, infinite technologies mod. They add different things between them. Okay, so with this, I will need to use my undergrounds. Yes, I will need to use my undergrounds, and I will need a lot of inserters. I will need a lot of inserters, and a lot of chests, for that matter. I'm going to need to actually grab all of this. Okay, get back. Get back in. Get back in. Right, splitters. Right! Splitting. Our first splitting is here to, you know, be able to do things. Okay, apparently clicking on transport belts gives you the chest sound effect. Have I mentioned that this uses quite a few inserters? Because they use quite a few inserters. And quite a few underground belts, so I need a few of those too. I just hope that 2 is enough on each side. I could do the math, so it's 216 degrees rotation speed. I don't know how many per second I need per drill, though. I guess we'll just have to, like, see, do I have enough? If yes, then don't add more. If no, then add more. Ah, god dang it. You see what the problem is yet again. I've forgotten to do this. Whoopsies. That's alright. As long as I see the problem and I can fix it, it's fine. It's 0.6 per second per inserter. Alright then, for each of these are using 500 kilowatts. 500 kilowatts. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 1/3 per second. 1.3 repeating per second per line. So that's 3. Yeah, 3 each. If these are 0.6. That should provide enough throughput for everything to run at max. And I just need to bear in mind that this is 15 minus that 2 2/6 per second of rockwool, something like that. Something along those lines. And that is something I will need to copy and paste probably 4 more times. 3 or 4 more times. But for now, we'll stick with this. This is our completely... this is completely automated. Exception being that it will eventually fill up on ash. So, automated except for ash, which... we could also throw the ash on belts and then store it into probably fewer chests than this. But that would need additional belt this way with, like, squiggles. And I don't know if I want to use that line. I don't have the tech yet to do anything with the ash besides make science out of it. We're still really, really early. Like, we're still super early. Okay, first thing that is going to use this will be my iron production. I will need to completely change this iron production. Again, I don't have the ability to make logs. We're very beginning of the game. Okay. I probably don't have enough storage space, but we'll see. I have to break all of this. I will pick up the chests myself. Like, I already know what I could do with it when I have the tech to do things with it. It doesn't apply to right now. And so if I'm not talking about the things that I could be doing with it, it's because it's not relevant to the current moment. Have I decided on the end SMP yet? What do you mean by SMP? Science per minute? Science per minute. What we're going for? Usually existent. No, the plan is existent. As is always the plan. We're going for something that exists. not necessarily Not necessarily a specific amount, just existent. We'll see from there, but at the beginning, it's just we're thinking existent. This should be making half. Nope. Did I do twice as much? I did, didn't I? I did twice as much. Yeah, I did double here. I did double here. So as we just saw, burners make 2 per second of raw coal. Means all my math is cut in half here. So I didn't need 3, I only needed 2. Because 4 by... Yeah, it's 0.66 repeating on each side, and since each one of these does 0.6 flat, we do need to have 2 on each, and that will make whatever yellow belt. Whereas this makes 1 per second. So we do need lines that are 8 long on here. Which way do I want it to go and what orientation do I want is always a wonderful question that I rarely ever know the answer to. But hey, it doesn't use power. We don't need power poles for this. What we do need, though, is more belt lines. And underground belt. And how do I want to do this? Because I think no matter what, I have to split and hop. Now, as we have determined already, I will need at least 3 going that way. But what I'm thinking, actually, is that I will have the, like, quote-unquote main line of coal, and then, like, up here, we'll do, like, the other 3 here. And then this will go up, we'll do the same, like, split off for the drills here. I do need to change this. Obviously, because we need this layout. Ah, right, and everything is backwards. Of course it is. There we go. Beta! Beta, and that is an entire belt of iron. At least until we fill up on ash. Now, fortunately, we have underground belts, so I don't have to worry about a splitter there for that. What I do need to worry about is the processing of the iron into plates, which I'll probably do over here. So off we go with the iron. I will need to split off more of this to fuel the furnace lines. So the furnaces for iron plates. Furnace recipe, you are an 8 to 1 every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds. So that means that we will have 8 per second used out of every 10 furnaces, which is convenient for splitting. To have 7.5 on each line. But this is also gonna make ash. And this is a 2-tile entity. So it's the same freaking... It's the same layout. It's the same layout for this. It's a dang good thing these inserters do not use power. It's a real good thing that these do not use power. Unfortunately, I will need more of them because, as was mentioned, these things have 0.6 throughput. These things have 0.6 throughput, and the throughput on this stone furnace is 0.8. I could do it in the reverse, though. And I think that's actually what I'll do. I'm going to do it in reverse. So we're going to have a big line like this. And this will actually make it so that I don't need as many chests either. So just grab that filter. Unfortunately, this also means I'll need to filter... Fine, whatever. It means I will need to filter the ones going onto the belts to filter for the iron plates. So belting it would be better for longer term. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Now, 7.5 divided by 0.6 is 12.5. So I need a few of these. Now, how much coal is the question. So these use 200 kilowatts. So 2 megawatts. It's that same 0.66 deal. I need more of these, and more of these. Lots of belts, lots of belts, lots of belts. The fortunate part is that I only really have to design this once, and we can use the same thing for basically everything. For the rest of the ore processing into copper and the stone. Though the stone is going to be its own issue because of the kerogen, but we'll figure it out. We shall figure it out. Oh look, I need more. I need more of these too. Of course I do. So this is a little funky, but it will work for the moment. And I'll just take these and put them in other chests later. The iron stuff here won't be like a forever thing. Like the whole thing here is going to be deleted pretty much as soon as I get access to advanced furnaces. Once I get the advanced furnaces, all this goes away, regardless. So it really doesn't matter to me whether I keep these stacks here or try to belt them out somewhere else. In fact, that'll just make the logistics even more difficult here, because there's no way I'd be able to have this like this if I were to try to belt this ash. Oh, I need a ton of inserters. What am I thinking? And yeah, I do have the ability to build burner assembling machines. It's just that, you know, we need to have the iron and the copper in order to make the burner assembling machines. But of course, the first things that I'm going to make with these assembling machines are belts and inserters. Those are the two. The belts, the underground belts, and the inserters. Those are first three, along with the chests. In fact, chests might be number one. I can just do that now. Just build a single assembling machine. Extend that out a little bit. I can put the assembling machine down and feed in the fuel for it and the iron from there, and output the ash and the boxes, and then I'll at least know that I'll have boxes. Okay, it looks like I have enough of the inserters now. So that's good. That is good. The real question is it going to be enough on the throughput? It appears as if that is the case. It will be good enough on the input. Now, next question. A loader. At what point are we going to get these? These are just automation packs. So that'll make it much easier for me, since the Deadlock's loaders are not going to need circuits. I'll need to like unlock all of the techs for circuits, but hey, we'll be okay. We shall be okay. I need to go and see about getting copper. And what are we missing on you? Dirt. And then stone bricks again. Plonk the things. There we go. Better. And I'll just need to bear in mind that this is going to use up wood. More stuff using up wood. These will keep an internal buffer for the iron, so don't need to worry too much about that. Alright, so the thing is that I will need to copy this whole thing and paste it down again. Except this time it is copper that will be the input. So yeah, more stuff to build. More belts are required. What happened to my... Oh, we just haven't gotten there yet. we have a bit of a queue. We have a bit of a queue now for building things, which is always nice. Convenient, efficient, always be building, always be crafting. Okay, we got the thing. The thing is going to build those things. Give belts. They're building that, and I want it to build this. Belt. It's doing science first. Stop. Belts. Belts! More important. Belt is far more important. And inserters, apparently. Those are important too. Just keep building, just keep building. Looks like I also need additional furnaces. Oh boy, am I finally out of stone? Can I automate intermediates? Yes. Most of them use copper, so I will need to get the copper done, which is what I'm working on right now. Everything is a process. Everything is a process. There is a method to the madness. It would help if these had fuel. There we go. I will need infinity inserters. But the inserters use copper. Iron plates and small parts, and the small part intermediate. Realistically, it's copper, but it does use two other intermediates in the bolts and the gears. Oh, at least I have enough underground belt. Why do I have 5? Why do I have 5? I have a rogue underground somewhere that is unpaired. And I don't know where. End of coal line. End of coal line? Which coal line? They're all paired. This is paired. This is paired. I pasted smelter column, the top underground. This top underground. There we go. That one. Okay. It'll come in from that direction somewhere. There we go. That explains a lot. Okay. Building. What am I building? What am I building? Good question. I am building additional inserters. And I'm taking those chests, and I am going to put 2 more thingies to maximize your throughput as best I can for the current moment in time. You only use 75 kilowatts. That is very convenient. That means it's not going to be outputting all that much ash on my assembling lines. Grab a copy on this guy too, because it's going to get pasted up here. There we go. More belts. More inserters. More belt. More inserters. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream, everyone who's here. Yes, we are going at it again, and it is a very, very different experience. Very, very different experience than what it used to be. It is quite exciting. Because, I mean, the entire beginning of the game is changed compared to what it used to be for Pyanodon's mods. It's like, is this really PyMods? Yes. Yes. 1 to 8, or 8 to 1, excuse me, on the ore into plates. This is definitely Pyanodon's mods. It's just, you know, it feels like something else. But hey, at least there's stuff to do. There are things that we are doing. And that we can do. I need to grab additional iron. That's a bit more iron. More belts. More belts, more inserters, more everything. More everything. Yes, my Ollie. The Ollie is so sleepy. He's so sleepy here. Such a pretty kitty. So sleepies. Yeah. So sleepies. Alright, let's collapse you. Alright, you're building that. Good. Good. Are we finally working on this? Glorious, beautiful stuffs. Get this in here. I need to do more splitting. I need to break all this. Yeah, I need to change it to copper, but that won't like break it. It's not going to be fundamentally broken if I leave it until the copper starts flowing. Because the only thing is that it just stays in the machine, right? It doesn't contaminate the belt. My bigger concern is a potential for belt contamination which, yeah. Just gotta swap all those over to copper, or whatever plate I'll be making, and there we go. Yeah, while dragging, you can hit R and it'll change direction. I don't like it. I don't like it, so I don't use it that way. It's not precise enough. I should probably limit that to just like a stack at a time, because that's eating a lot of iron. Oh, and I guess I should get rid of that from my inventory. Oh, boogers. I also need to do this and figure out exactly how much this is using. So how much is this using? This uses 3.7 megawatts each. Wonderful. 3.7 times 2 is 7.4, which, as we've seen, is like this amount of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna... No, we'll just use undergrounds. 10, 13. Okay, so that's one belt. That's the other. Undergrounds are coming. And this will automate the power fully, ideally. Guess I didn't need that in the end. There's those. Alright. That should be it for getting the rock hole where it needs to go. Hopefully I'm not using any more than a yellow belt in grand total across everything. I think it's somewhat close if everything is at 100%. The other thing I might need to do is add more of those inserters. Yeah, that I do, in fact, need to add the extra inserters on them. If they were to operate at 100%, it would need 3.7 megawatts, which is a little more than one item per second on rock hole. And since they can only do 0.6 per inserter, that would explain a lot. So we should now have our copper automated, quote-unquote automated, as best we can. that should be a full belt of throughput, and it is. Plus 1 per second should be 16. And this should split approximately evenly on the lines down to here. So now we have iron and copper. Woohoo! We have iron and we have copper. It only took 2.5 hours, but we're here. More like 2 hours, but still. An hour and 57 minutes of playtime in the save thus far. Well, that is not everything, because we still have to do the stone, but the stone is a little different. Stone is just a little bit different, because it's got this Keragen output 1-to-1 that is gonna like be always in excess from this process. So with this, we need like filters and a whole bunch of other shenaniganery. I can use the Keragen to fuel the stone process. The stone processing in and of itself is self-contained. So I can just have this over here mining 2 per second. Keeping that in mind, it is 2 per second of throughput per thing, so I can only have this many. And from here, I need more inserters, as always. And belt, and undergrounds, and all that good stuff, so I need to grab more iron. Once we finish with the stone bricks, we should be good to really get into automating various other things. Yes, it begins! We are here. We are here. We are automating at this point. This is definitely a different experience. Definitely a different experience. Okay. We're going to need enough mechanical inserters to split off the Keragen, which, as we've determined before, is 13 inserters for half a belt of throughput, which is what this will make. So this needs to be filtered to either stone or Keragen. It'll be Keragen. Whitelist on all of it. That will split the Keragen, which will need to be split again, technically. So I'm just going to put a few on this line. Remembering it's 0.6 throughput, these use 500 kilowatts. I need 2, less than 2, but still, effectively 2 megawatts, which is 1 per second on the Keragen. So I only need 2. Whoops. That is almost that. So then grab this. Frickin'. Ta-da! Okay, so now we should have a clean stone belt. But just so that I am confident about it, we'll add a couple more splitters down the line. I guess to be really confident about it, I should just have the 13 on stone, whitelisting stone. That way it's guaranteed that the belts are clean. And I don't need like extras. Yeah, that's my filter, quote unquote. And since we only have 7.5 of throughput on the stone, ultimately, that's what we build around on our furnace line for stone brick. The irony being, I'm going to combine these two lines again. Yeah. On this line. Now it is 2 to 1 every 3.2 seconds. So 2 over 3.2 is 0.625. 7.5 divided by 0.625, 12. We need 12 of these. This is Tiny Start, yes. Absolutely, this is Tiny Start. Very specifically made sure, fortunately, that King Arthur knew about the compatibility issue with Tiny Start, and he was able to fix it in time. More belt. More belt is required. And undergrounds, for that matter, but still. Yes, Nanobots also. Mod list isn't technically posted yet until after the stream. That's when I'll post the mod list. Lots of iron. Lots and lots of iron. Good to see. Yeah, Nanobots, TSM, Actual Craft Time, Afraid of the Dark, Hell Mod. The usual. The usual. Only, the only one that I don't have enabled now because of a compatibility issue that I will enable as soon as I can is, Bob's Modules. It is just not compatible right now. I need a copy. But speaking of modules, they have not been messed with. Eyeballs. 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 Those are new. Oh, another one? Goodbye. That was our second bot today. Oh joy. And not the kind of bot that we want. Whitelist our glorious stone brick. Stone brick. Stone bricks. There we go. Okay. More undergrounds. Ha, yeah, it's that Pyanodon spike. Yeah, I can tell that we have a few more people here than usual today. I think that there's some interest in Pyanodon's mods, specifically Pi Alternative Energy. Yeah, just so everyone's aware, this is different. Every aspect of Pyanodon's mods has been touched, as far as I can tell. Just about every aspect thus far has been touched. And then, of course, we have Ollie here. Of course, people want to see the Ollie, right? They like the Ollie. Yeah, he's sleepy kitty right now. He's super sleepy kitty. Yeah, super sleepy kitty. Yeah, you start grooming, huh? Well, yeah, it's out technically now, so of course more people should be around and streaming it. This is gonna go into a box. I get half of 7.5. So I will ultimately need 7 of these inserters. Into box. Into box. Now, unfortunately, the problem with this setup is that, well, we're going to end up with extra Keragen. Yes, that's right. There will be extra Keragen produced in the end, so I gotta get that all out and boxed as well. Oh goody, I need even more iron. And the unfortunate thing with the Keragen is that it is still like stack size 100. We'll have issues here before we have any issues with ash. For now though, this will do. Go grab some more stuff as we enter our about the last 20 minutes of the stream. Just about. Yeah, I've got plenty of copper. Grab it, iron. Glorious iron. So the next thing is to automate the inserters and the belts. Like, duh. So, yeah, we need to have all of this logistics stuff automated, because that's our bottleneck right now. We wanna smash the bottlenecks with a massive sledgehammer, and our sledgehammer is going to happen to be burner assemblers. And so with the Keragen moving, it'll get the stone moving again as well. I just need to like figure out like burning this Keragen, getting rid of it. Because yeah, we can convert it to shale oil. Absolutely, we could do that, but yeah, it's going to be a little while before retorters. At least, fortunately, they have changed the retorter to be like quote unquote Tech 0, Tech 1 level. Don't need to get circuit 3s, 4s for it anymore. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that Keragen is... Oh, they changed the drill head icon. That it doesn't really have too much of a use outside of that. And it's a fuel. Oh god, it's a fuel, so you can't burn it in a burner. You can't burn it in a burner because it's a fuel. It gets used as a fuel. You have, in order to get rid of Keragen, in the excess Keragen, if you have excess, you at minimum have to convert it to shale oil, and then either process the shale oil or dump it, because you can void the shale oil. You can't void the Keragen. Yeah, you have to turn it into shale oil. Which, unfortunately, they got rid of that entire mechanic of being able to convert Keragen into, like, tar and gasoline and all of that good stuff that was in the late game. That's all been changed now. Repurposed the item. Now, what do I think about this being a thing? I'm fine with it outputting the Keragen. It's just that I wish it wasn't 1-to-1. That's my only issue with it, but I don't think that they can change it. Yes, they made the PyMods more complex. They have made it more complex than previously. They've successfully done that thing. All right, how are we going to arrange things so that I can actually build inserters and transport belts and all that good stuff? Ah, boy. This is gonna be fun. With a capital FU. Da 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 dee doo. Small parts. We need bolts and gears. Bolts. Gears. Sticks. Throughput on this is huge, so it doesn't effectively matter at all. And we need the copper cables. That'll do. Yeah, you could steam void the Keragen, unless the tailings pond has been changed. Because that's something I would still need to test, is whether or not the tailings pond has changed. Because that wasn't really supposed to be a thing to begin with. Weren't really supposed to be able to void steam through the tailings pond. I don't know about being able to sinkhole the thing. That's everything with a ash box, right? I think. Oh, okay. So, without having access to long-handed inserters, that makes this funky. That makes this super funky. I wish this defaulted to whitelist rather than blacklist. Ah, da 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 dee doo. God, that means I have to whitelist the sticks. Technically not, but just for my own sanity. No, whitelist each item that is the items that I'm intending on using here. Whitelist the bolts. Whitelist the gears. Whitelist the copper cables. Whitelist the small parts. In a box, I guess, for the moment. That'll be fine. And I need a lot of belt. I need belt. Oh good, we're full. That's a lot of copper. That's a lot of copper. Let's put some of that away. I know this whole time I should have been just making more science as well, but you know, I need to get at least this part automated. At least this part automated, and then we can work on getting like the air core inductors and such automated. As much as we can. Fortunately, I don't need those air core inductors for much. At least not for the science packs. Although these small parts, getting these small parts automated, that is part of the automation science. Getting that automated. The only thing we can't truly automate is the wood at the moment, but everything else, even the ash and the soil, those can technically happen. But I'm gonna leave it. We're probably gonna just handcraft the vast majority of our red science going forward here. Yeah, so I need my coal line. And my copper and my iron. I mean, I've been told about the separation of ash. I know about ash separating, but it is just not clean. There's also clay behind logistic science pack. Yeah, that's a long time. But ash separation here with the solid seps, that it leaves you with less junk. It leaves you with a lot less junk, but it still leaves you with junk. (10 to 0.05 and to 0.5 and 0.2 is pretty decent ratio, though. You know, I need a lot of belt. Give me a lot of belt. That sounds like a wonderful idea. Just give me all of it. Hundreds. Hundreds, I say. Hundreds are needed. Off we go. This way. And down. Oh, splitting is gonna be fun, isn't it? Yeah, splitting is fun. Don't you like splitting? I like splitting. And the infinite number of inserters that this is gonna need. So small parts. One. That is gonna need 1.8 and 0.8. So I need 3 and 2 and 1. Not of coal. Not of coal. Raw coal. Default. Apply to all. Pin. So we've got 1, 2, 1. One, two, 3. One. Ta-da! Oh, frick it. Through Keragen. Well, ta-da! Ta-da, 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 ta-da. There, we've got small parts automated. There we go. We are in fact automated. Not really the direction of the bus I wanted it to go, but hey, well, we're doing it. I need to get landfill because apparently we spawned with a whole bunch of water, shallow water around us, and like 0 trees. That's gonna be what I do between streams, is I'm going to go out and find a forest to chop down. That's the main thing I'm going to do, because we don't really want to spend 30 minutes looking for trees. What we do want to do, though, is get fuel in this machine, so that we can get our small parts. And we do want to get, like, spend those small parts on various things, not just this one thing. So off these go on their merry little way, so that I can get some belt. You know what? I can do this over here. I can do this over here because we have this line already here. I may as well use it. Belt, underground, and thingy, other thingy, underground, and I don't have an extra assembler. Well, that's just lovely. The thing about trees. So that's here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 technologies before we get wood processing unlocked. Although it does look like... So the wood processing is going to need moss for the seeds, no matter what. We can definitely use the ash recipe if I provide the ash myself. Otherwise, just the regular recipe. But yeah, it's still a bit of time before wood processing is available. And in order to build the buildings for this, we're going to need aluminium. We're going to need aluminium for moss, and we're going to need glass for the botanical nursery, which will also mean that we need coal gas from DDCs for the aluminium. So a process. That's not the one. That's the one. And this is going to be the other thingies. I shouldn't have done that way. You don't need it, but you will. There we go. We've got belts. And that also means that we've got underground belts. So I can, like, stop on the majority of this at this point and let the burner assembler craft. So that we can have inserters. Glorious inserters. They're here. Huzzah! The 3 main things that need to be automated in the base for logistics have now been automated. The big 3 here are belts, undergrounds, and inserters, aka splitters, for all intents and purposes at this point. They're now automated, and it's done, and it's glorious and beautiful. And I need to add more splitters down here to provide more iron and more coal, I think. Maybe not the coal, but definitely the iron, because I planned out for the first 3 and not those other 3, and it's probably going to use as much as I can give it, so more iron split off to make the stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, glorious. Pipes. As a one-step process, pipes don't really take too much time to handcraft. And their stack size is the same as iron plates, so I don't... Well, while I will eventually automate them, yes, it's not at top of mind. It's not at top of mind because these 3 take a really long time to handcraft. Not so much with the pipes. Not so much with the pipes. We can make the pipes mostly on demand. It's just those that were the main issue. With that, it is now 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast of the United States. It is time to wrap up our stream for the day. We did a few things over the course of the day today. We have progressed into a somewhat automated state, mostly automated state of the game. That's how I'll word it. I'll call it mostly automated, because yeah, there's still aspects that will seize up the systems if boxes fill up with ash in particular. But yeah, we've got iron, we've got copper, we've got coal, we've got stone bricks, and we've got initial automation on our belts, undergrounds, and inserters, which is abso-freaking-lutely glorious. And this is filling up with plenty of bricks. I can start painting, maybe. Start painting the map with bricks. We've got enough bricks now. We shall see. We shall see. Definitely learning everything that's changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed in Pyanodon's mods at this point in time. We're gonna keep learning on Thursday when I stream again. As I said, between streams, I'm going to do a little bit of exploration around the map as a lot of these logistics items build. As the logistics stuff gets built and buffers buffer, I might have to like adjust buffers on some things. So that'll be like the main thing. It's just I need to find a forest, get some wood, enough wood to make enough science to get the science to get to the technology that lets me get wood automated, and then proceed to automate the wood, etc., etc. And then yeah, just more progress from there. We need to get into fluid mining and producing said fluid for the fluid mining still. And we need to get eventually into that next level of tech, the new Pi Science 1, which is effectively just the original Automation Science Pack. That's what it is, the original Automation Science Pack with latex and all that good stuff. So yeah, we need to keep progressing. We need to keep on progressing. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Show It. If you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will be back with more of this on Thursday, and I hope to see you all then.